AEW was celebrating 1 year of being on air. You know what I'm saying? If you go on YouTube, you could go to the All Elite web YouTube page, and you can watch the full first season on YouTube and like remember how they started everything, especially with the crowds, which is a big element versus what they did current today.
And we were in the second one, which is pretty cool. It's kind of historic.
We were
up here in Boston.
Yes, which I wish we could see them again, but soon. So as we commented before, AEW started with the championship match. The tag team championship match was on the line between FTR and the Best Friend. FTR retained the belt in a semi-clean way, if I could comment on that. Building up from that was another tag team match between Miro and Sabian versus Jobbers, and it was quick, and of course the winner was Miro and Sabian. MJF and the Inner Circle had an amazing promotion. Definitely when MJF was like, come on, what he said, oh, come on, Max, you could do this, like, don't get scared.
He was like, oh, we both piranhas, you never see piranhas fighting against each other. And he was like, oh, maybe hypothetically perhaps want me to join,
maybe, you know, however,
like, it's crazy, like they
could have, would have, should have.
Like Jericho and him are like, MJF are like the best, and this is just like this been tested throughout time. Like we saw Jericho, we talked about even I think in our episode about kind of like the highlights of Jericho a couple of episodes back. Jericho, like we had, for example, Jericho and The Rock, and Jericho and Kevin Owens, Jericho, like I said, like he's able to kind of like wordplay and battle against people that of the same caliber, kind of like giving us a show. And it's so dumb, the stuff that they be saying, but it's entertainment, and they know how to deliver, and they know how to carry a story all the way through. And it was hilarious. I know MJF's trying to do ratings, I think what was it, ratings ruler, and I'm like, dude,
ruler,
and I'm like, everybody like, boo. I'm like, well, I tried. Which he tried. I don't know if he's gonna. They should just to like kind of like mess with people. He should make a T-shirt out of it, just mess with people. But
it was definitely well advanced, because I like how he recovered. Be like it just went over their head. They didn't get it. Too slow. So I give him props for that. Again, the promo was amazing. Of course, throughout the show, certain break, we saw that Lance and Moxley was going at it behind the locker. This is something not new. I was not too impressed with that, making my AEW champion look kind of like too approachable. But whatever. Do you
think it's time for him to give it up? Or I'm at the point.
Wait, I didn't cross that line yet. Let me just finish real quick. Just give me a quick second. Just one quick second, okay? Cody with blonde hair, which I'm not a big fan of, versus Cassidy for the TNT Championship match. It actually lasted the 20-minute, where it was a draw because time was up, and I think the end was a little bit more hype, but you know, he is getting his rematch for the TNT belt in 2 weeks, according to AEW. Darby, however, he has a match with the TNT champion for,
I think, full year.
Full year, November 7th. Matt Hardy announced that he's 100% recover, and then a quick promo showed of his picture being burned. It turns out that it was Sammy all this time who was attacking him and put him out of commission, and he said he's going to get his vengeance until he is completely out. Not bad for a rivalry to stay strong. They announced the single, every person who's competing in the single tournament for the number one contendership for the AEW champions. The last two spots were Pentagon and as well as Joey Janela.
That bracket, it's crazy. It's
that the first round is just
crazy. Like it makes no sense.
We're almost done. Two more matches. We had the women's AEW championship was on the line as well throughout the show. You know, Sheeta is still champion. She beat Big Swole once again. I thought it was just too long. And then AEW championship match with Eddie Kingston in commentary, which was not bad. A little bit, you know, his style, but he was not that bad. John Moxley is still your AEW champion. It was it a no sanctions, man, no DQ? Because like I was like, I don't know if I missed the memo or anything, but weapons and all of that shit came out of nowhere. I'm like,
it was a non DQ because Lance Archer is trying to do the rope break. I think it was the heel hook or something that Moxley was doing, and he's trying to like do a rope break, and the ref was like, "There's no DQ." So then he had to like pull himself out of the ring. But it was just like either the people forget the rules of non DQ matches, or the referees. I feel like everybody needs to go back to like wrestling school or wrestling 101 to be like, hey,
I'm just flabbergasted. That's all. I'm flabbergasted with how certain things are like slide and others are not. At the end of the AEW Championship match, Kingston went to John Moxley, gave him his prop, saying, "Hey, I'm not done with you." Did the reverse neck shot and his sleep holder on Moxley. That's how it ended the show.
Also, just kind of like before I kind of goes out of my mind, what was that slap? What, Judas effect? Or what is it, Kingston effect? Like, King's right hand? Like, what are you, like, it's a slap. It's not even a punch, an elbow. It was a slap.
It was a rabbit punch to the neck where like, Moxley,
he sold it.
Where Moxley, because he was trying to aim for one of your punctual, vital points. And I guess, Moxley, like you said, sold it. That he got stunned, and then boom, he put in a sleep holder. I'm like, dear God, what are you doing to the number one wrestler supposedly of 2020? Like, this is how we're gonna make him look? This is our champion? And unfortunately he is. But I'm glad Moxley is still champion, to answer your question earlier. I'm so glad he's champion. When he's gonna give it up, full gear.
To who?
And I think we might see it in the triple threat match.
But like, to who? Like, it's gonna be interesting. I'm glad that he's gonna hold it until after the tournament, or until the tournament number one contender. And I think we'll get into it when the time comes later on to do our predictions and stuff. But and there's a good amount of, at least I would say there's 4 people. Well, it's the 50%. There's 50% of the pool that could potentially take it from Moxley, which is good.
Agreed.
But for me, it's just like, he was hot in the beginning. He's been a good champion, but I feel like he hasn't, I don't know if it's him or the people that he's been booked against. I feel they haven't done, for me, enough to be like, oh, that's an amazing title reign. When Jericho was title, like, the holder, he enhanced people and kind of like helped them all the way through. I feel like Moxley is just meh. Like, he went against Brody Lee. He's gone, I don't think he went against Cody, but Brody Lee, Lance Archer, and it's just like, okay, if it's, the story fits, but it's just like, I just expect more from him rather than how things are going. I want him to lose it already.
So my comment to what you just said about Jericho was a great champion. Yes. Did he build a lot of people? Not really. Did he? Because most of them got buried at the same time.
Okay.
For an example, Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky had his one-on-one match. He lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after that, they did not know what to do with Scorpio Sky, and they put him back with SCU.
Same thing sort of with Jungle Boy too. But they giving, I feel like when most of the people, when the first title ring went around, they were trying to highlight people that were part of a tag team of a group, but they were kind of like cherry picking of people that have potential to be champions.
A single competitor. Yeah.
So they could see the potential against Jericho.
And again, they had the potential. They just didn't know how to follow it through, especially with the road travel and stuff before the pandemic. It was just like, it was a little bit over the place. Now that everything is more like in a structure facility, and they have this, this process, you know what I'm saying? This procedure, boom, 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 boom. I think they're going to figure out exactly how the belt is going to be passed from Moxley to the next champion. Now, since we're talking about the single competitors, let's just let's name the competitors themselves. Of course, you have Kenny Omega, you got Heyman, Adam Page, you got Phoenix, Ray Phoenix, you got Pentagon, you got Jungle Boy, you have Johnny Janela, you also have Coco Cabana from Dark Order, and the last person that's slipping my mind is.
I think we cover everybody. That was 8.
That was 8?
Yeah, that was 8. So we have basically the brackets. On the left-hand side, we have Pentagon against Ray Phoenix. That's round 1. We also have Kenny Omega and George Janela on the other side. Then we have Hangman Page and Colt Cabana on the opposite side of the bracket. And we have, the one that we forgot was Warlow.
There you go. I knew I forgot somebody.
Warlow against Jungle Boy. So I like that especially how they put Omega and Hangman opposite. But you have Penta and Phoenix against each other.
That's what pissed me off so much. I was like why couldn't one of them face like Kenny or Jungle Boy? You know what I'm saying?
I would have done Omega against Jungle Boy.
Interesting.
I would have done them two will swap. I would have done Warlow against either Penta or Ray Phoenix, one of the two. I would have probably done Ray Phoenix, so the contrast. And a little bit extreme would have been Pentagon against George Janela. So they could have gone crazy doing like indie spots and kind of like hardcore match, but inside a ring. So I feel their styles would have blend more. Coco and Hangman, I feel like that has to do something a little bit of Dark Order, and you don't know how that. I feel like that's okay, but I feel like it would have been better if we had Jungle Boy against Ken Omega, because we've seen that before. And now that Kenny has gone away from tag team division and Jungle Boy has faced him before in the tag team division, so it's just good history there. But it's just weird. When I saw the Penta against Phoenix, I was like, you just took two of the best people that go against each other.
So I would have Ray with Kenny, because that would definitely be a great starter. You know, Ray being the AEW champion, I don't see it, but him facing Kenny Omega, I mean, hopefully I get to see that in the second round.
I think they faced each other before for the title
that he got,
the AAA Omega title, whatever. So I feel
they
like
did.
that
and it was a great match.
It was a good match, yeah.
So that's why I would love to see that first. I would love to see Pentagon with Warlow. Okay. I mean, because they're like two big guys, and I think Warlow would definitely been he could either be. It would make or break Warlow.
Yeah,
with someone.
It
with
wouldn't
that
affect Penta. I feel like if it would have lost, it's like whatever.
Exactly. Jungle Boy would have been with Janela body type. The only one that they got right in my eye is Coco Cabana and Adam Page for the first round.
It's balanced, and I feel like they both could tell a story, and there's some history between the two. I feel because Heyman's on an island, so maybe I feel like they could, if quote unquote, hopefully knock knock, if AEW was listening, if they try to recruit Hangman before the match, or do some type of like backstage situation. So that you know what I'm saying, like booking itself. So I feel like that could be behind his head to be like, oh, maybe if everything goes wrong, he could be part of the Dark Order, because he's by himself on an island, you know. So
let's leave Hangman alone. Let the cowboy run, you know, to sunset and do what he needs to do. But yeah, those are his competitors. Those are the competitors for the single round. Also, AEW announced there's going to be a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership for the tag team. And it was pretty dope. You know, they had the name inside of the bin, and they cycle it. I believe the first thing was Private Party, which I was like, cool.
About time. Okay.
Then they said the Dark Order, which I was like, interesting choice. The Butcher and the Blade, I was like, okay, I like them. I really enjoyed those tag team. And then Tony gave the most honest expression he could sell when he said the Young Bucks. Like he said,
and also like what other team would have been available for that like that fatal 4-way?
We saw all the teams; they were all
you know what I'm saying.
Up.
Like there's really nobody like Jurassic Express, but you have Jungle Boy out. You're not gonna have Marco Stunt with like that would make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And I think nobody else like Kip Sabian. I don't think they're ready. for Miro and Kip Sabian for the tag team yet.
Yep.
And Best Friends were facing FTR, so there's really nobody else.
I mean,
and
okay.
not the Natural Nightmare and stuff, but I think they're done.
So Natural over Dark Order, I would have picked. Janela was Sunny. I forgot Janela's in the tournament.
Yeah.
He's in the tournament.
That's the only thing that sucks, that it's like you have such a limited roster that it's like if you pick one out of a group, you're done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes him break it. Yeah. I hear you.
You know what they could have done? They could have done, just to add a new team, the Gun Club, Billy and his son. But I just to put something different, and I would have preferred them instead of the Dark Order, or even put Uno and his tag team, Evil Uno.
Oh no, Evil Uno is premium. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To put him in a fatal 4-way is a disrespect for him. Honestly, like as
what about SCU?
They're overused, my guy. Wait, let me go back to Dark. Let me talk about Dark Order, right? When we're talking about Evil Uno, right, and his homeboy as tag team, the only way we want to see him is in a number one, a championship match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the matches that they win, singles, winning, and go straight for the championship after 3 wins. That's what we like to see from Dark Order.
True.
Okay? Now, when we're talking about SCU, overplayed. We already used them too many times. You know what I'm saying? What I'm kind of upset is, and I'm surprised you haven't mentioned them, Proud and Powerful. This would have been a great opportunity for them to steal a win from the Young Bucks. They have a chance for the belt because they never faced FTR.
True. How about the Inner Circle? Like,
Jericho. That's what I'm.
Jericho.
Oh no, fuck that. No, hell no.
Because they've had
2021.
They've been winning. You know what I'm saying? They've had a winning streak so far, and it sucks because you're pulling another good tag team into the number one contender, which is Penta and Rey Fenix, into here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a waste of two. Like, it's so tough because it's a catch-22 situation. So if you want a good division tag team, you're taking away 2 people from singles. So it's just like,
keep in mind, if you keep track of most of these melee type of event, you know what I'm saying, battle roulette, if you want to call it, that includes a member of the Lucha Bros.
Yeah,
they get injured bad because they try to make some high risk move and then they're out for 3 weeks. True. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think they're just being cautious with their star player. That's why I don't see premium the Dark Order with Evil Uno, Lucha Bros, fine. Johnny Janela, fine, because he's like, him and Kenny Omega, they're just gonna go like at it, like if it's a stupid street fight, and it's like I'm so mad that's the first round. Damn. Also, with the tag team championship from last night, dude, the buildup of the story of what's going to happen with the Best Friend, I think that was well done. You know what I'm saying? You incorporated Sabian in a weird way with the match with the arcade.
And also, the arcade, that thing was empty. Like, I wish there was more wires. Like, make it more serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It is what it is, but
mind you, it wasn't even connected to anything. Look back, there's no wires.
No, I saw. But I'm just saying, like, the job was to incorporate them, which they did. Where Penelope ran to the back like a little girl. Yeah. I mean, she is little, no offense, but she ran to the back
and she got
the Miro. She got the big gun. Big gun took him out quick. And then the promo that I don't remember much what Sabian said, but what Miro said at the end, he said, "Hey, good friends, game over." I was like, "Oh, shoot,
the crowd was saying crush." It was hilarious because it was like Rusev, was Miro, game over, and I'm like, you can't do that. But I don't know. Like, I want so much for Miro to succeed in AEW, which he can't. But I don't know. I don't see the potential.
I would have loved to see him in the single match. This would have been a good opportunity.
That could have been the AEW. He could have been him against Penta or him against Rey Fenix. I replace one of the two. That would have been great for him.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that, but again, I guess they're just taking it and soft. So that was a good transition. I'm trying to think about anything else that would really excite me. The TNT Championship match again. It was a slow build up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think Orange Cassidy stayed true to his character. Mm-hmm. I saw that Cody. Again, I don't like him blonde. Him with darker hair is more appealing. Even though we roast him on social media, but still,
he looks like that guy from that show. It's hilarious.
He does, but he is a great wrestler too. Him blonde, I'm like,
I like the narrative being told by the commentary about how Orange Cat, the contrast and style and stuff. I like how JR and everybody in commentary was guiding people through the story, which was good. Yeah, but that match could have been done, and honestly, Orange Cassidy should have won it. Orange Cassidy had it. That weird leg sweep, like you didn't have to do all that. That extra second would have been 1, 2, 3. But we're gonna get a rematch, which is fine, and I hope it's him against Darby.
And what blows my mind too, if you listen carefully, right? Mm-hmm. It was like 2, 1. Then I believe if he would have slapped his hand when it rang, Orange Cassidy would have been the new TNT champion.
And I think he still could be, but I don't. Now that we know who's the next person up, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Darby.
Yeah, Darby. We have to see Darby and Cody. That has to be the match.
Okay, so that can be the match, but what about if it's Orange and Darby though? I would not be mad. I would not be mad at that.
It'd be interesting to see. But
facts. Okay.
I don't know how. I don't think Darby. I'm not saying he doesn't have the skill, but I feel like he doesn't. In ring wise, he needs somebody to like ricochet from, like move him and stuff, because he's very like he throws himself at you. So either he needs somebody big or somebody to like build momentum. Orange Cassidy is not gonna help him build momentum, and basically Orange Cassidy is the anti-Darby, that he's like evasing everything. So he's gonna be in a stalemate. I don't know. I wouldn't want to see that.
It would be so, because like I could just see the part that Darby would be like, okay, now this is how you kick a person, and then like does some high risk move, and then Orange Cassidy be like, what anything you could do, I could do better. Boom. So it's just more interesting to see that match happening in the near future. But for now, like you said, we're gonna get Orange. We're gonna get Cassidy. No, why I keep mentioning Orange Cassidy? We're gonna get Cody versus Darby for Full Gear, which is going to be a fun match to enjoy. Britt Baker also had her promo I didn't mention earlier, but it was okay. It's whatever.
I know there was some I was listening to some other commentaries about her giving like an interview or commentary about the women's division that it hasn't been built up yet. I'm like, you don't have a women's division. That's 4 people. So either you build stories and take your time with them, or get more people. So until you figure something out, it's gonna be how it is. Which is, I'm not mad about the women's division, but they need to do something, build more story. Yeah, they just have to build stories. They need to take the time and build stories, because I feel like most of their foreign talent can like travel or commute to AEW, so it's a little difficult. And I feel like them losing Thunder Rosa lower the value of that division, believe it or not.
I wouldn't say it lowers. I'm just going to say that it's just like business is business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we're not going to see her in a while now that NWA is back up and running, if my memory serves correctly. Yeah. So it's just, it's sad to see, but at least we saw some opportunity with them. So guys, you guys heard the Providence Lucha Talk. If you made it this far, we say thank you for sticking around, and we appreciate you. If you found us by accident and you enjoy the show, man, we just got 2 words for you, man. Follow us, man. Yes, we on the social media. We on Facebook, Insta, the Twitter, as well as the YouTube. Just like and subscribe. And also for those who have iPhones, man, we're in the Apple Podcast. Just give us that 5-star in the comment, for we know exactly what we can improve on. And as well as those who are not Apple users, those who are getting the Android Pixel 5, you got Spotify. So enjoy that, and, also give us that 5-star rating. So I am your boy, Jay Aguila.
Luisito.
And I say good night.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
See ya.
Peace.